And hello, every one person in our chat.
Ooh!
And welcome to tonight's session of RNG Presents The Dark Veil.
No.
The
Narc Veil.
The Narc Veil.
We're a narc hunter.
That's a different campaign.
Alright. Mom!
Yeah. Tonight's stream is sponsored by...
You know how normally I just kind of like come up with this random concept and talk about a thing?
Mm-hmm.
I actually got this in the mail today, which is kind of hard to see on camera, but it's a potion light made by my friend.
Bong.
It's a bottle.
Look at Tyler's bong. Wow.
Yeah.
You're
Dude,
really-
the weeb.
I'm trying to do a nice thing for a friend who has an
Are you
Etsy shop.
ripping
You guys
that
are making it
bowl
about
right now?
drugs, you jerks.
It's
Man,
the
you're
lighting,
smoking that-
Tyler.
Dude,
Smoking
that's
that oregano.
that's not a real light. You're seeing things. That's from how high you are.
Plug it, Tyler. Plug it.
Plug it.
No.
Plug it.
Plug it.
My friend Allie makes these potion lights. She's on Etsy at Oak Maiden Uniquities and on TikTok at Oak Maiden. Oak like the tree, maiden like the girl. And she makes these and like cloaks and other fun stuff. So yeah, thanks for ruining it, you jerks. Back to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Allie, for that potion light. It's not a bog.
Yeah, this was more a rip on Tyler than your product.
Yeah. Because he wouldn't smoke the devil's oregano. That's a fact.
What was her handle? Again?
Oak Maiden. Oak like the tree, maiden like the girl.
That was on TikTok.
At Etsy is Oak Maiden Uniquities, which is like
How do you
unique.
spell-
Uniquities.
Uniquities is a unique word.
It is. She's
That's-
actually words is kind of her thing. She used to have a series called Wordy Wednesdays that were fun, but she stopped doing it for some reasons. Anyway,
So we're not actually sponsored, but we
Not actually sponsored,
want
but-
to-
yeah, supporting a small business and a friend.
Yes.
Also, our other sponsor is Wings.
Okay. I can get up
Buffalo
with that.
or
Paul McCartney's
It's up
old
to you.
band.
Yes. The airplane show that my grandpa used to watch.
Hey, wait a minute. I used to watch that show.
I mean, Grandpa?
I also used to watch that show when I was a kid hanging out with my grandpa. So,
Sick burn. Mike's up in flames over there. Anyways. When we last left off. Actually, you know what? I'll change the music for a second. I like this one a little better for this. When we last left off, our group of adventurers traversing through the great abyss of Onor, through the winding paths into the placid pools, passing Elgiri village and into the crystalline cavern. It's been quite a long journey. God damn it. It's been quite a long journey that you have. God damn it. Kima! No.
Kima, stop being cute. Dang
Yeah.
it. Try to be serious here.
It's been quite a long journey since you first embarked on your adventure. Inside the crystalline cavern, encountering a strange world made entirely of crystal, an ecosystem made out of beings of crystal held together by some unseen force. You had discovered a group of outliers that belonged to the cult of Amethyst that were there to do Uldred's bidding, apparently to spread the influence of the Amethyst dragon by creating and converting crystal within the cavern to amethyst. Through some discussion, it was revealed that the Onor, or the Baron, had been taken from Onor to be used as a conduit for channeling the power of the shards to help spread the influence, and therefore securing their survival through the upcoming gemstone dragon wars and the coming of a dragon of onyx known as Imra. As you spoke with them, they assured you that nothing could come of this besides more death, and that while they would take you to Uldred's domain, they would not be involved in what came to follow. And so, as you stand on the precipice of this sort of ridge that hugs the side of the cavern, looking down into this large amethyst citadel, almost, with this almost humming purple ray of light coming from its nexus, shooting up straight into the top of the cavern. That is where we pick up tonight's episode of The Dark Veil.
The Dark Veil.
The Dark Veil.
Oh no.
Another one.
So, there you are against this ridge, about 10 feet wide from the wall of the cavern itself. Very rigid and but also a smooth surface. The ridges are more so kind of outlining this 10-foot ridge, and you can see that the group of Amethyst Dragonborn have left you. Maybe it's been 5 minutes. If you looked back, you could probably see them retreating. You know that they did not want to be involved, as all they wanted to do was continue their work and make it home to see their families.
I'll turn to the group and I'll say, give them time to get out of sight. We don't want any problems for them.
What's coming next? What did they say would happen once we got here?
Just that they didn't want to be involved in it.
I'm not entirely sure I do either, but
It's funny how we get into these situations. A lot of them that we don't particularly like being involved in.
we've only ourselves to blame. Either we succeed or it becomes somebody else's problem, so...
Well, and our alternate option was running into a giant stomach.
That's true.
I've been in that stomach, and it's not fun.
That was the baby version of what I'm talking about.
It felt like I was in that. Anyways,
I think for now, we need to do our best to lay as low as possible, traveling through the citadel. It's a citadel, right?
Correct.
Yep. But we're on the ridge, so how far away, just from where we are, is the citadel? Did you explain that? Sorry.
No, and that's a good question. I'll say just make a perception check to kind of gauge the distance.
perception plus 6. Natural 20.
Nice.
Let's go. First
Hit it.
roll of the night. Let's freaking go.
Get it.
I didn't even look at it. I just like rolled it and looked at my perception and looked down and it was a natural 20. Let's freaking go. Oh, sorry.
Gotcha. You could tell that from here, it's you have a pretty good vantage point. You could tell that it's about half a mile away.
Okay. I'll explain to everybody. It looks like where we're going is right over there. If you guys need to do anything before we go inside, I suggest doing that now.
But you think we're sneaking? We're not going to flag someone down and ask to be taken to Uldred.
I think if we do, there'd be another fight.
Yeah, I think we lay as low as possible and avoid any eye contact.
Any signs of movement? Any signs of life between us and the citadel?
For this, I'll have you make a perception check at disadvantage. If you're looking specifically for movement, the distance right now with the lighting is a little bit more difficult to see than the giant citadel in the distance.
Sure. Yeah, I don't see anything. I think we're the only things alive out there. 4 on the perception check.
Yeah, nothing really. There are too many scattered shadows, and the light that pulses from the nexus of this citadel, it can create the illusion of movement, but nothing that you can particularly see in the way of, beings.
Well, I think that leaves our only option just to go in.
Everything's pretty amethyst here.
Absolutely. You have noticed that throughout your journey, it's been several hours. By encountering this group, you have found the quickest route. It was a completely different route that had been than the one that had been implanted in your minds by Jujo. Though Jujo could get you here, first-hand experience was a lot more effective in this situation.
Right.
And so, while it has been, I'd say maybe you've been traveling for a good 8 hours or so. You have saved days of travel. But yes, you do notice that as you progressed, the ground became more and more amethyst, and everything around you is made out of a dark purple and some like lighter purple with streaks of white in them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely no other kinds of gemstone around.
From the time we battled those guys last session until now, it's been 8 hours.
Yep.
We took a long rest after that.
Short rest.
Was it a short rest?
Yeah, it was a short
Okay.
rest. How long has it been since we've taken a long rest?
Probably in total, maybe 14 hours or so. You've been around for nearly 24 hours now. I mean, it's been enough time to where you could take a long rest if you wanted to right now.
How is everybody?
I have nothing to recover except hit dice, personally.
I need to recover some spells.
Can they be done on a short rest, though?
You have
They
your
gotta be
arcane
long.
Recovery, Carla.
I know, I've already used some.
Oh, I see.
Not to mention, if we persist for too long, we risk exhaustion.
I'm okay to take a long rest.
Eric,
How are
you
you
can.
feeling?
What's that?
Just asking Dane how he was feeling.
Dane needs to.
Good. How about you? Small talk.
Yeah.
Dane has, minimal spell usage, but Dane also has bad constitution if we have to make a constitution saving throw against
Mhm.
exhaustion.
Yeah.
So
I'm like I said, this is meta, but I'm definitely fine taking
Yeah.
more risk.
I can make the hut the same color as the amethyst around us. Hopefully, make us as nondescript as possible.
Yeah.
I think that'd be helpful.
Genius idea.
All right. Well, I'm going to see if I can find a spot that would be out of. I don't know if we're on an actual path or not, but get off of any sort of path.
Yeah.
And-
Brandon, actually, could I make a check of some sort to like see if there's a spot that would be best suited for that? Like kind of tucked away or something like that?
Make a survival check.
Survival check.
Can I help him?
Yeah. Are you trained in survival?
I have a +1.
I'm proficient in survival.
There you go.
Okay, go
I'll-
ahead.
I'll
Yeah,
give him help.
so you can help him.
Okay. Well, the first roll's a natural 20.
Nice.
Hey.
Getting those out of the way so that you guys can die later.
Shit.
Second roll was a 15.
Okay, so 15. No. I'm just
Aye.
You look around, taking in the situation. You would know that this would be the least ideal place to create this, as this is a heavily treaded through walkway, and anyone that comes through here often or at all would notice a giant dome made of amethyst suddenly appeared from nowhere.
Well,
You would have to leave the ridge, which
Okay.
would require you to travel a bit further and onto some onto the base ground in order to be at least even a little bit obscure.
okay.
What if we travel back a bit so we're farther from?
Either.
Yeah. So I'll relay that. I'll say, Eric, I love your idea, but I don't think we should do it here. This seems to be heavily traveled. Let's try and find another spot.
You're not my dad. I'm doing it here.
That is actually an Eric response.
I cast insubordination.
For you, I'm doing it here.
I'll start walking back and kind of looking for a good area.
Okay.
DM, we've covered it before that my wild shapes can kind of have different colorations than like the one that I saw previously. Can they be like a natural colorations or?
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have I seen? I know there's been some mention of like wildlife. There's been like birds flying around, right?
Yeah, birds.
Right, birds.
Yeah. Mhm.
I know I can't like actually make my wild shape amethyst. Can I make it that same color so it blends in better? Is that kind of purplish sheen?
Yeah, I'll say that that it won't give you any kind of advantage on stealth or anything like that, but at the very least, it won't draw an immediate eye as it kind of
Right.
blends with the surrounding colors.
Right. It's less immediately.
Like, oh, there's that
Conspicuous.
yellow bird in here in this purple
Right.
cavern. Like,
Right.
like
Right.
wearing the orange vest when you're hunting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then, I want to assist Kwansing in looking. I'm going to wild shape into an owl with that that kind of purple amethyst sheen.
Hmm.
Still natural feathers, like I said, but just like that coloration. And I'll kind of do a scout from the air, trying not to be noticed, but also like just trying to behave naturally, kind of blending in, I guess.
And
I am an owl.
Yeah.
and I turn to the owl and be like, "What'd you do with Dane?"
And I turn my head, and then like do the whole like all the way around a couple times.
Sure. I thought you were going to say
I-
who? That would have been the
I-
appropriate response.
That's what I was hoping for.
Sorry, who?
Never mind. I set
say
you
it
up for
with mind link.
I set you up for alley oop, and you're like, I'm playing baseball right now.
Yeah, I don't play basketball.
So Dane, your form changes as this like dull kind of blue flash transforms you into the owl, and you start doing like the owl thing where you like trying to like gauge like the depth of certain things.
Yep.
Because they can't like move their eyes.
Right.
And so you take to the skies. So for this, I'll need 2 rolls from you. I will need a stealth check.
Okay.
And does the owl have dark vision?
Owls do have dark vision.
Okay, then just a regular perception check.
120. I intended to support Kwansing, kind of mind link with him and kind of give him heads up.
Gotcha.
Stuff,
oh, you also have Devil Sight. What am I talking about?
Well, that too. Yeah, that I guess that carries over to.
Yeah, it's a feat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess before. Sorry, can I retcon just a little bit if I haven't been?
Yeah, but you have to do that talking backwards thing.
Okay. For yes, you can see it from the. Wow. Yep. I am gonna cast Dark Vision on Kwansing.
Okay.
And Eric, do you have Dark Vision? You don't have Dark Vision, do you?
Yeah, I do.
That's right, you do with your investment. So Dark Vision on Kwansing. Kwansing, you have Dark Vision for 60 feet for the next 8 hours.
Nice.
Because I probably have been doing that consistently, so I'll mark off a couple spell slots for that. Just because that makes sense. And then I'll do the owl thing. I'll make my stealth check, and then support Kwansing's perception roll.
Proceed.
And I am doing non-detection on Eric too.
Okay.
And I'll
Perfect.
be Rondon.
All right. And my ex.
Wow.
So the owl has a +4 to stealth, I think. Every time I look away, it reloads. That's a 23 to stealth.
Okay. So, you take to the skies with nary a sound. You just. And while there is no real place to hide in the sky, you are being as quiet as possible, moving the least amount. Owls do have a pretty amazing way of being able to glide stealthily, and so you take advantage of that. And so the perception check.
Was that me or Kwansing?
Well, it'll be 2 separate checks because you're looking from 2 different perspectives.
Okay.
So I'll need one from you, and I'll need one from Kwansing.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
19.
Okay. So, and you are trekking backwards, is that right, Kwansing?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Going backwards. Yep. Sorry. As
Okay.
opposed to down under.
Gotcha. Making your way back. Actually, are you being stealthy, Kwansing, or are you just walking?
I'll be stealthy. I might as well. Since I'm just 26 to stealth.
Jesus.
Jeez.
So you're basically like Peter Pan's shadow, where you're just like
That's cute.
Every flash from the Nexus, like you get into the shadow that it creates. And so traveling backwards, this path that you've traversed is quite long. This isn't something that you just came upon. From where you are currently, you're probably a good maybe 120 to 150 feet up, high. Kind of descending from where the group was looking down at the citadel. It was much higher, but from here you just kind of descend lower and lower and lower, and both of you notice that I would say not close to the bottom, like that connects to the ridge, but a little ways off. What you see, Kwansing, is some kind of reflection, like this pair. You can assume to be eyes that just reflect silver light. And Dane, as you are flying above, you get a better look, and this is actually another one of those horrors.
What?
So then I'll get down so I'm within 80 feet in my mind link connection.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if they're hunting us, but these horrors are definitely in the forest, or the ravine, or the caverns, or whatever we're at.
And because I get to say something back, right?
Yeah, I'll establish the full connection so you can respond.
I'll just say, perhaps we should head back to the group. Would hate to have to fight these by ourselves.
Then I'll kind of do a low swoop and go back that direction.
Okay.
And I'll head back as well.
All right. So, they've been gone maybe 10 minutes or so, the rest of you. And unless you guys have something that you want to do, they return without issue. So, Dane, you kind of reach the rest of the group. The rest of you can see him fly within close proximity, and Kwansing kind of rounds the corner of one of the walls and enters your vision.
Did you find a good place to camp?
Well, I'm not sure there is one. We ran into a horror.
I killed it immediately. With my mind link to...
Yeah, this like owl,
fire.
just this like, he's like
Yeah.
maybe this tall, like...
Covered in blood.
Yeah.
I just... Peregrine Falcon dove right through it.
I killed it immediately.
Owls are spooky.
They are.
Should we
We
head
tried-
forward?
So we tried going back because we tried perpendicular to the road. Somewhere to the right or left.
We can look. Certainly
like-
doesn't hurt.
Would you like to split or team up again?
Either way is fine. I'll go left. You go right.
Aye.
And then yeah, back to it. I'll roll another stealth check, I assume.
Yes, please. And this time you're going forward. Is that what I understood?
Splitting.
Splitting. So who's
Like-
going?
Perpendicular to the road.
So staying on top of the ridge.
If I'm understanding it correctly, right?
Well, instead of going straight back down the road,
Mhm.
if we go off to where like the traveled bit is, I don't know. It may be different results. That's all I'm thinking. But
To where the travel, the ridge is, like I said, it's 10 feet. It's about 10 feet wide, and it's a single path. It either goes forward or backward,
Oh, so basically, I think.
and it hugs the wall.
oh,
Mhm.
Okay. So then I think our option is to not long rest.
sure.
It's,
I was sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was imagining like a crater. We were at the top of the edge of a crater.
No, it's
That's what I had vision too. but
Gotcha.
I understand what you're saying now.
yep. It's a lip on a ridge that hugs the wall. So, yeah, it's
I'm following.
very it's relatively thin.
Yeah.
It's only forwards or backwards at this point,
Got it.
Okay.
and it's heavily tread.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that we're going to be able to rest. I think we need to
Moving
press
forward.
forward and try and find, hopefully, a place to rest in the citadel.
I'm alright
So
with
it
that.
is.
If
So we press on.
I'll remain
Yeah,
in owl form for a while.
Okay.
I'm gonna stealth.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
So go ahead and everyone make a collective stealth check. And then in just a second, I'll also need your marching order.
25 again.
Oh no, I just blew our cover.
What do you fight?
You and Rondon both.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
That was a
so,
shitty roll.
so first
That
let me
was a
get the
really
marching
bad roll.
order.
I'm in front.
Okay, one thing.
I'm usually behind Eric.
Okay, so
We're gonna be
Eric-
right by Pip because we're apparently both making a bunch of noise.
Who?
I don't know. It's
Inley.
it's been months. It's been months, and I still say Pip out of
Yeah.
like muscle
It's been a
memory.
long time.
Yeah. Rip.
I'm gonna stand next to Inky.
All right, so who's right behind Kwansing then?
Usually
Uh,
Rondon.
Yeah, it'll be me.
Rondon, okay.
Then let's put Presea, then me.
Persea,
Say it. Goodness.
Eric.
I'm glad that you remembered.
And then me.
That was just a flex, honestly. He was like,
Right.
Persea and then me. Because I
Right.
remembered.
Fire. Gotcha. I was going to mention her earlier before you piped up with that survival check, Drew.
Oh, okay.
Because she actually rolled too.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Might be.
No. It's good that you're thinking of these things ahead.
Trying to.
Okay, and so Kwansing, 25. Rondon,
12.
12. Okay, not terrible. Persea. Oof. She's got great stealth, but she just does not roll well with that. Eric,
For the,
14.
14. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say Persea for the first time farts and blows the whole cover.
No. And Balefire.
5.
Okay.
Yay!
And then Dane,
I
you
totally-
are in the air, I assume, kind of away.
I'm like, I think I'm like down kind of near them, but like below the ridge.
Oh, sure, okay.
But I rolled a 9 in my stealth.
Oh, we fucked up, guys. We
Yeah.
done fucked.
Yeah.
So
Not
you try to
Kwansing,
suppress
we
your
never-
animal instinct, and you have to let out whoo.
Just a little bit.
Okay, so you begin to progress, traveling further and further forward. This ridge hugs the wall, and so you have an open drop to the landscape below with these amethyst structures on one side, and then just solid amethyst on the other that stretches up for the about 1,000 feet high height of this cavern. You continue forward. Kwansing and Dane, both of you make separate perception checks, since you are both in the lead of the group and traveling kind of away from it.
Mhm.
Both of you can kind of get different perspectives at this point.
11.
Okay. Kwansing?
Sorry, it rolled off. But 24.
Holy buckets. You're stacked, bro.
Dude, +6. I just rolled an 18.
As you are continuing forward, Kwansing, you can see some soft lantern light ahead, kind of descending from the ridge where you are. It's not on the ridge itself. It is, I would say, maybe 60 feet away from the ridge. It's a little hard to tell specific shapes, but you can see a soft purple lantern glow at this point. They don't seem, whatever it is, aware of your presence. But
Kind of hold my hand back just to stop them. Say,
I give him a high five.
yeah, nice. And
Clap. Echo.
and yeah, and I just say to them, if you look closely, you can see a purple lantern over there, and I kind of point in that direction. I'm assuming they will not be our friends.
How do we avoid them?
I don't know. And this is linear, right? Like, as far as we can tell, it's just straight to them, right?
Once the ridge descends down into the floor, I guess you would say, the base of the cavern, there it is pretty much, I wouldn't say open area, but it has a lot more mobility and structures that you could use down there.
Okay.
And they're about 50 feet away from the ridge itself. So if you wanted to kind of sneak by and begin to move in a separate direction away from them, you could. However, it would take another stealth roll for that. So there's a potential chance that you guys could be spotted in this moment, but that is an option for you.
And based on my perception check, I only see one person, right? Or one lantern.
Correct. One lantern. From the distance that you are right now, it's a little hard to tell exactly what is ahead of you besides this light. You'd have to get a little closer if you wanted to.
I say to the group, I think we should move up. Maybe there will be more paths that we can take, or we might have to surprise this guard. Or in a crazy turn of events, maybe talking to him. But whatever we do, just be ready for anything. And I press on a little bit to see if I see anything else. I'd say, how far away is he about? This lantern?
From you, I would say about 120 feet or so. From the bottom of the ridge, it's 50 feet away.
Gotcha. So yeah, let's move up that 50 feet. And, yeah.
Okay. Everyone or just you?
I'll move up first, and then I'll come
Okay.
back to them.
Okay. So, go ahead and just make another stealth check for me, Kwansing.
18.
Okay.
So, thank God for a plus 11.
Okay, so you begin to creep your way down there, sticking to the shadows, try not to move too suddenly, until you reach the bottom of the ridge that connects to the base of the Amethyst Cavern itself. You can go ahead and make another perception check if you'd like to gain more details about what this figure or what this light is.
Yeah, for sure. 13.
13, okay. It's a little hard to see exactly what's in front of you, but you can tell that it is, you can see 5 different shapes down there. 4 of them which seem to be about medium size, and one of them which seems to be a huge creature.
How many creatures did you say?
5. 4 that seem to be medium, so about your size category, and one of them that seems to be a huge creature. And they aren't, I guess, well, with that roll, that's all you'd see. You can see their outlines, kind of their shapes, just the light is helping a little bit, but with that roll, you can't tell much detail other than there are 5 figures 50 feet away from you in that direction.
Okay, and then from where I'm standing, can I look around and see, is there any other path that doesn't lead directly to them?
Absolutely, there is. They appear to be kind of towards towards the front, continuing along the edge of the wall of the cavern, but you could just as easily turn to the left and take a different route. You would lose the defense of having the wall at your back, but you would avoid this group in particular to kind of try to scout and find a different route.
Sure.
At this point, you haven't been noticed, so it's
okay.
not
I'll go
big
back
deal.
to the group then and let them know this information.
Okay.
So when I get back, I just there's about 4 medium creatures and 1 large creature. Not sure what they are. It appears that with the loss of the ridge at our back, we could definitely take another route and try to avoid them. You guys would have to be a lot quieter than you have been, of course.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can't make no promises like
You can
that.
certainly try.
You know
What?
what we had for breakfast. I'm feeling gassy.
With every step, it's like. Brr, brr, brr.
Who's putting all these whoopee cushions everywhere?
Yeah.
That's when you realize it's not actually stone; it's just purple whoopee cushion.
Yeah.
He's the purple whoopee cushion,
Yeah.
Greg.
He's like, why don't you take a seat? And he's like,
Wait a
Yeah.
second.
Devious.
yeah.
You monster.
What was it? It was the chair.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes, the chair.
So yeah, I relay this information. What do you guys do?
I think avoiding them is our best bet.
I agree. I don't think another battle with the citadel right there where reinforcements can come is probably a good idea.
Well, what was that guy's name? Jujo?
Yeah.
Jujo did tell us that we would be taken alive. We could risk it.
Yeah, alive doesn't mean unharmed, though.
That's what I've been thinking this whole time.
Who? He also said get captured on our own terms. Who?
Wait, what?
He said get captured on our own terms.
He said that? I don't remember that.
Yeah, he said you will be taken. Make sure this happens on your own terms. I transcribed that recently. I can read it back to you. They will not make a decision against your life without consulting Uldred, but you may be weakened. You will be taken. Make sure that this happens on your terms, not theirs. Violence will be sought out immediately from them. The further you can get into the cult of Amethyst and meet the Lord of Amethyst himself, the quicker you will be to reach your goal.
That's messing with my head now.
So
make sure it's on our own terms.
my reading of that means we want to get farther in before we get taken.
Yeah.
You look stressed, Kwansing. Have a seat. Take a load off.
Yeah, we want to get further in to be beaten less, I guess. It seems like we're still going to be beaten.
Unavoidable.
Yeah.
I say we go off to the side, take a rest, recoup, and then try to, as best we can, get further into the cavern until we decide, okay, this is the furthest we can get. Let's just turn ourselves in.
Yeah, okay. That works. You guys ready then?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's press forward.
Okay.
Gonna
Do you
try
need new
going
stealth
off
rolls?
this side.
Yeah, so everyone descending now, except for Dane, descending the ridge. I need everyone to make a stealth check.
I'm just gonna actually like wild shape into a bird.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Right.
Come on.
Would I have also seen these entities by now?
Now that he has made them apparent to you, you could fly closer if you wanted to try to spot them yourself. I'll need a separate stealth roll
Sure.
from you and a perception check as well.
So here's what I'm thinking. And I guess, I don't know if I can say my plan and you can tell me how feasible it might be, or if I just have to decide and roll for it. I'm thinking about flying past them and like being seen. Like, hey, that's kind of weird, but by the time they like go to investigate, I'm like farther enough away and kind of throw them off the trail of my friends ahead of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
This sounds
you're
like
trying
a-
to make a distraction.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is yeah. Do it,
This-
Dane would do.
Dane just be doing shit.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this to Drew the other day, or one of you, but I was looking back at my character sheet and like my bonds and flaws and ideals and stuff like that, and one of his characteristics is Dane doesn't think of the risks in a situation.
That's
And Tyler, for
accurate.
sure, like, I'm a risk analyst. I got to sit there. I got to look at every angle so we don't die. But Dane apparently is not. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see this. I'm going to try to make a distraction as I fly by.
Okay, sure.
But I'm going to like dash. So I've got 120-foot fly speed.
Sure.
Which is why he turns into a frog and, you know, in a carcra or no.
That what?
The bird, the chicken.
Aerocochrus? Or what?
Cockatrice?
Oh, that's what he's talking
Yeah.
about. Okay.
Which, on that note, you were like, that's an early game thing. And I was trying to remember why I didn't have access to that until last level, because it has a fly speed.
I mean, it's
That's where I
good for
got it.
utility. Like,
Right.
hey, we have this
kind
target
of.
that we need to turn to stone. It's like, chomp, and then they're like, oh no, I'm turning to stone.
Right. Basilisk next level will be better. But yes, I'm going to do the thing.
Yeah, Basilisk will be dangerous for you and your party.
We should talk
We'll
about
cross
that
that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
The stat block does say the Basilisk can force them to make a saving throw.
Gotcha. Okay.
I've been looking at that.
Okay, good.
All right, what do you need from me, my friend?
What I need from you is nothing. Because if you are making yourself apparent, and if your purpose is to be seen, what I need from you is what's the order of operations here? Are you going first, or are they going first?
So as they get down to the nearest point to where they're going to be before they diverge from the path, that's like once they start diverging is when I'm going to fly ahead and kind of go off behind where they're at before I get far enough away and loop back around.
He's
hopefully
trying to
stealthy
get them
then.
to look away from us.
Yes, so that they can hightail it into the wilderness
Okay.
or whatever is in this ravine.
So first I need everyone,
Wilderness.
besides Dane, to make a stealth check for me.
Perfect. 25. Again, that's my third 14 tonight.
Those are rookie numbers. Gotta up those numbers.
Yeah.
You said 24?
25.
25. Rondon.
16.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
Presea. Pretty good. Eric.
Just out of curiosity, what was Perseus with?
19.
Heck yeah.
Natural 1. Now I hear what you're
Oh.
saying. You're saying, hey, you're a halfling. Re-roll that natural 1. I already did. Natural 1.
Oh,
my
no.
God. Mike! This has
Yeah.
happened
Oh.
before.
My gosh.
So I'm like, hey, where's Dane flying off to?
But don't you have like some Dark One's luck or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. At this
Okay.
point, it feels like the gods have spoken.
Okay.
I don't know. As soon as Eric makes that noise, I shove him. I just push him down. I'm like, stop
Right.
it.
Ah! And Balefire.
14.
14, okay.
When you made the noise, it reminded me of macaroni with the chicken strips.
What?
I don't know what that is, but it sounds hilarious. Maybe it was
It's-
just you doing it, but it's...
It's a TikTok noise, whatever you want to call it.
Sound.
Yeah, thank you. my brain.
It's okay. All right, so here's what happens as you continue down the ridge.
Oh no.
Being as stealthily as possible, or walking as stealthily as possible, you begin to reach the base of this cavern. And for the most part, everything seems okay. Until Eric, you end up hitting your foot across a solid slab of amethyst, and you cannot help but yelp in pain. Even momentarily, it breaks the silence of this cavern.
I fall on top of him, trying to get him to be quiet.
I guess. Can I, at that moment, let out a bird sound?
Yes. As Dane swoops by, you go charging straight towards this group. You know, flying a little higher. You let out a bird
like-
cry.
Up in like probably 20, 30 feet out from them,
Mm-hmm.
so they see me, but I'm not like on top of them, so they can like poke me with a stick. You know.
Sure.
Okay.
You let out your bird cry, and you get closer and closer to them, and you can see that there is an amethyst construct of some kind, along with those 4 other amethyst dragonborn. They appear to be holding a lantern atop of one of the one of the robed figures, like the staffs. They appear to have a lantern latched onto it. And they turn to look at you as you fly by, seemingly no reaction, or at least not one that you had anticipated, as the rest of you make your way down and around, out of their sight. And that's it.
One thing.
I'm a lot bigger than you, Eric. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying there's not going to be a bruise, but I get it.
Yeah, he went on top of you, on top of a stone surface. So whatever weight he put on you, kind of like jabbed crystal into your torso, so it hurts like a mother.
I'm like, judging by the way I'm laying on you, your shoulder and your leg are probably gonna hurt. It's probably gonna feel like you got hit by a car.
Uh-huh.
And I stand up and I'm like, we have to be quiet, Eric. And I'm like, this way, and I just kind of guide. Oh, God.
Hanging my head. Sorry.
Dane, you flew past them with them giving seemingly no reaction at all.
Am I still within 80 feet of them?
Of the main group?
Yeah. Well, of the guys I'm trying to distract. The bad guys. Quote unquote.
I'll let you choose. I mean, you have a pretty fast fly speed. Would you want to be?
So, as I'm going by, and I assume my 18 passive insight is still active as an owl because I retain my mental stats.
That's right.
It doesn't seem to be responding the way that I want it to. So when I get to about 60 feet away, I don't want to establish the link so it can respond. But I want to do the Kalashtar telepathy, and just go, oh my god, that's a talking owl.
You want to what?
I want to say, oh my god, that's a talking owl. The owl talks. And then just out of range.
He was joking, Brandon.
For some reason, your connection doesn't stick. You attempt to create that link, and you know how it feels. But for some reason, it doesn't work.
Interesting.
Were they standing in place or were they moving?
They appear to be standing in place.
Yeah, I could meta this hard, but play your character.
True.
But it looked at me when I flew by.
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, I guess I'll loop back around to where they are potentially still stationary or wherever they're at by now.
Okay. Ooh, what could it mean?
I'll kind of alight down on a stone near wherever they're at. I don't know if you guys got back up after you tackled Eric or what, but
Yeah, I lifted myself up
Okay.
and kind of let him out.
So assuming you kept moving a bit, say they seem to be some sort of sentries. They're not. Either they're guarded from, and this is mindling to Kwanseng. They're not alive, or they're sheltered from psychic connections. I'm not sure, but they didn't react to me at all. And when I tried to speak to it, it didn't connect. Nothing happened.
They didn't try to get you.
Nothing. It looked at me. It turned its head, but there was no recognition. There was no life in the thing.
I relay this information to the group, and I say, Dane says that they're alive, but it doesn't appear they're moving. As much as I think we should avoid this, should we check on them? Would it be wrong to leave them if something's wrong?
I think we need to focus on ourselves before we focus on the things that are trying to capture us.
You know how they always tell you when you're riding the airplane that if in a case of emergency, put your mask on first before you put on your passenger's mask? I don't know what airplanes are.
Perseus speaks up. She says, Rondon, I think you've been hanging around that mushroom too long.
Who are you?
Who
She does
are
say...
you?
Yeah, she does say, however, she says, I agree with Balefire. I don't think that we should be so quick to engage. I don't know what they have in store, but I would rather continue at full strength than to waste any more resources on something we can avoid.
You know what? Now that you mention it, per se, I'm going to waste all my resources on this people. Start running toward.
Hey, you need help?
Rondon's like a kid with a toy in his mouth. Like, no, get back here. He's like, you can't stop me.
Okay.
What do you?
What is this reference? Like, what kind of life experience led to this like connection?
You never heard that? Like, kids put something in their mouth and you're like, get that out of your mouth. Come here, and they take off running.
My
Or it's
dog,
like that.
maybe.
Yeah, kids, dogs,
Yeah.
both of them. Like, hey, get that out of your mouth, and that's the moment that they know, like, I'm not.
And they're like,
This
oh,
thing ain't leaving my
hell
mouth
no.
unless you kill me.
Yeah.
Or it's like that one Vine where the kid's running and mom's like, "What do you got? A knife? No!"
That's Rondon all the time.
Yep.
Where are you going? I'm not telling.
Okay. All right. Anyways,
Okay. If that's what you guys want to do, I will put aside my normal response to something like this.
and just full disclosure, because I don't want it to seem like I'm influencing your decisions, but Presea is a very cautious NPC, and you know
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah.
No.
No. Yep, we took it that way. You're good, man. I appreciate you though.
At every moment, she would go for preservation of the
party.
the entirety of the group. Then to, be like, oh, what's that shiny thing over there?
No, you're good.
She's the anti-Rondon.
Yes, exactly. Mhm.
Which is why
She
I'm
will
going to make
always
her my wife.
she will always decide against unnecessary risks.
So she's the anti-Dayton.
Which is why Dane's gonna make her his wife.
I'm going to murder Dane now.
And
Cue sad violin music.
yeah, Narnia or whatever her name's just stays a tree.
Narnia.
Narnia.
Yep.
Yeah, that was her name.
Oh God.
Narnia.
Narnia stays a tree that gets turned into a wardrobe.
You know what's funny
Oh my
is
God.
yeah,
This is the origin.
yeah. We all died. There, we couldn't save her.
Magical wood. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, boy.
I'm thinking about it though. I haven't heard Dane cry about her in a long time, so maybe he's just over it. He's like, screw Narnia.
well, everyone got sick of hearing it, so he stopped crying.
I wish I could cry some more. All right. Anyways, let's try to focus.
Narnia.
So, looking back up the ridge that we just came down,
Mhm.
any sign of the horror that they spotted that coming along, or the shades?
Make a perception check for me.
That's pretty good. That's my.
Now I can't remember his fiance's name.
Marina.
Marina.
Thank you. I was like,
Narnia was close.
Narnia.
Just switch the
16.
16. Looking up at the ridge, it appears to be completely empty. There don't appear to be any pursuers. Nothing that is hot on your heels, as they say. So you find some comfort in knowing that at the very least you're not being followed by the thing that they told you about.
So what now? Are we looking for another place to take a rest?
Well, at this point we can do whatever. Can I guess, could I make another survival check or something like that to see if this would be a safer area?
Yes,
Or if there's a
absolutely.
nearby area that's safe?
Mhm.
Perfect. Does anybody want to help me?
Can I assist him?
Are you an owl?
I am an owl.
Okay.
I said my intention is like kind of above, but like mind linking with him to like, hey, here's what I'm seeing, to kind of ping off your own radar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tyler,
Are you
on my
proficient?
screen. Sorry, on my screen, Tyler's right above Drew. So, like, when he did that, yeah.
Am I proficient with survival?
Yes.
I have a +5 because it's a wisdom skill, but I'm not proficient. No, I'm proficient with perception.
You could make your own roll then.
Okay.
But if it makes sense, you need to know what you're doing to kind of help other people. You know what I mean?
Can I use my perception to feed him information so he can make informed decisions?
Don't need help. Disregard it. I just rolled. I rolled a natural 20 again.
Jeez, Drew.
Dude, I'm going off tonight. That's my third natural 20.
Yeah, you were truly #blessed tonight.
Dude, let's go.
I see you're using the loaded dice I gifted you.
Yeah, hey, thanks.
You son of a bitch.
Dude, hey, if you guys want a foolproof plan on how to be blessed on a Saturday, just have diarrhea the entire beginning of the week.
Oh,
Foolproof.
there you go.
Works every time.
Suffer in advance so that you can be blessed in the future.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I've been suffering for 6 months and it hasn't been working out pretty well.
Yeah, you're gonna have a baby.
Yeah, your payoff
is that
is
not enough of a blessing?
Yeah, your payoff
true.
is after.
That's true.
Your 3 natural 20s are coming.
Okay, okay.
That's 60 if you add them all
20
up.
pounds, 20 inches, 20 fingers and toes.
Oh god, that's
You're good.
yeah. Okay.
You
20 of each?
continue along this amethyst landscape.
20 pounds? Holy God.
Yeah, I would not come back from that.
3 natural 20s right there.
Yes, you continue along this amethyst landscape, and just as before, this is not a flat, featureless space with, that you can see and stretch. Your vision stretches for, hundreds of feet. There are a lot of amethyst structures here that jut from the earth and create a natural sort of labyrinth around you, and obscure line of sight. You have a general direction of where the citadel is based off the light in the sky that appears to be illuminating the cavern somewhat more. However, the light is still relatively dim in here. And so, Kwansang, as you kind of you break from the group a little, and Dane kind of flying like a personal familiar. You both in tandem work to scout out the best place. And Dane, just with your passive perception, you can see that there are multiple packs of these sentries around. They're not close to each other. I would say not even at all. But you can see them in the distance. There's a presence here that you can tell mostly you could tell it's just for the sake of having eyes out and having protection so far away from the citadel, so that if something could happen, there would be immediate alert.
Sure.
But you find an area where there is no sign of enemies. Kwansang, you look around and find the best place. There is actually a what could be considered a glade of some kind. This beautiful kind of body of water surrounded by amethyst that twinkles with the light of the nexus of the citadel around you, creating these beautiful scintillating and dancing colors as the warbling light changes and shifts and refracts all of this light around you, and it looks like a beautiful amethyst. I would say maybe like a stained glass window, or maybe what it would look like if you could like ocean waves, kind of like that same kind of like light print of just like fractal and swirling color. Very beautiful. And so you find that this place is suitable for rest, away from any kind of harm to your party, Kwansing.
Okay. So I'll start to make my way back to the party then and get their attention. And I'll say, I think I found a place, and I think you'll really like it. And I lead them to the area.
Okay. Perfect. So after several minutes of carefully walking through these amethyst structures, you all eventually come to this this open glade, and I say open in a sense that it is. You can obviously tell that this is a larger spaced area than the tight kind of amethyst around you, but there are still structures here that really prevent any kind of like large open movement or visuals, and it amazes you at how beautiful this is. And Dane, as you are flying above everyone, and kind of looking out at the sentries, you also notice what look like dark, humanoid, unmoving shapes laying flat against the amethyst stony ground in several different places around the glade. At this vantage point, you're not able to tell exactly what they are, but they look like humanoid forms that appear to be splayed out on the ground, and there appear to be several of them scattered around the area. But yes, go ahead.
I guess I was going to say, while he was going back to get them, I was going to have a fly over the water to make sure that the water was clear and there was nothing like lurking in the pool. But I also now want to kind of get a little closer to those within my 120 feet dark vision to see what the heck one of those things might be, one of the like figures.
Sure. So which are you taking priority over then?
Well, I guess which one would I have seen first, the water or the...
Definitely the water. It's the largest mass here.
Okay.
Like it's...
So
yeah.
I'll fly over, kind of give it a couple circles and be looking down into the pool to see if there's any indication of...
Yeah, go ahead. Perception check.
Okay. That's 8. Hey, 22.
22. This is the most beautiful, crystal clear, purest water that you've ever seen. You can see the bottom of the pool. It's probably a good 15 feet in depth, and there is nothing but loose amethyst and what looks like some kind of like open, like a small, for lack of a better term, like an opening or a duct from which this water flows to or from.
Natural or like manufactured? It looks like it's like a spring, or is it like?
For this, I'll roll a nature check.
Okay, which I think is just a +4. Where's my character sheet at?
Yeah, you need that to play D&D.
Yeah. Well, I'm like switching which screens I have stuff on so I can like figure out what the best arrangement is, because I have 5 of them that I work with.
Wait, we have character sheets?
7.
7? It's not entirely clear to you.
Okay. I will make a mental note of that, and then just one more quick pass over those bodies, or the splayed out forms. Again, not too close, but just so I'm within range to like get a good beat on it.
Okay, so you begin to head in that direction. As the rest of the party, you come to the clearing and you begin to eventually settle and take in your surroundings. What's the next move for you guys?
If we're in a place where Kwansing says this is the spot to take a rest, I will begin the process of setting up the hut.
Okay, perfect. So you sit down on the ground, cross your legs and open the book. You open the book, and as you begin to channel your tiny hut spell, suddenly the pages flip and come upon an open page, or rather an empty page.
Ruh-roh.
And this kind of scrawling, as if from some invisible pen, begins to write.
I'm Tom Riddle.
And you can hear the scraping of this quill against the page itself. Until the message reads as only this: you cannot hide forever. And the page suddenly bursts.
Try me, bitch.
And you get to write back. That'd be so funny.
These
Nana boo boo.
these pieces of ash and cinder suddenly just evaporate into the air and kind of loosely float around you as the book suddenly goes back to the ritual that you were casting before.
Just kind of look up real briefly, make eye contact with Vale, give a little smirk, go back to what I was doing.
Okay, perfect. And so the sigils begin to lift up and form and coalesce as you begin the ritual for Tiny Hut. Anyone else?
No, but that made me really happy.
All right, so Dane, then, as you begin to split from the party and go towards these what looks like a splain body. If you were not settling to perch and rather just flying around, this will be a perception check. Let's see. If you're flying by quick, this will be with disadvantage unless you settle and actually look, because the corridors, or rather the structures around you, are too tight to where if you were to fly past, you would lose sight of them within a matter of seconds.
Okay. So yeah, if I'll do one pass over and I don't think I got a good look, I'll land and actually make my check.
Okay. So go ahead and just make a straight perception check then.
Okay. I also didn't scroll down far enough. I have keen hearing and sight, which means I have advantage on perception for hearing and sight.
Owls
as an owl. They have that, but they have a hit point. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's both keen hearing and sight.
Keen hearing and sight for an owl.
And dark vision and stealth. Holy crap.
Well, Tyler has dark vision. Well, yeah, I guess they do have the normal 60, I think.
Yeah.
But
And they have a stealth bonus, right?
I'm
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy crap. Yeah, fuck eagles. Owls all the way.
Eagles are faster and stronger. But anyway, so perception check with advantage. Ooh. Mother cusser. That's a 5 and a 6. So 14 is my higher roll.
14. Okay. So
I'm going to spend a key point to re-roll that, actually.
No.
I was like, I was gonna say, like, what? You can do that? But I was dumb.
You can make out some details, kind of perched above this amethyst. Kind of the walls. The walls vary in size, but you gather you're probably maybe 30 feet from the ground itself. And so, what you can make out is that it is indeed a corpse, and it is splayed on the ground, and it appears to be completely naked. From this distance, this vantage point, that is all you're able to make out with that roll.
Thanks. Okay. Then I will fly back to my comrades
If you
and
wanted to, you could get closer, and I would allow you another roll.
Can I see if there's anybody around before I get down closer to the ground?
Yeah,
no,
go ahead. Yeah,
okay.
That's fine.
And this is hearing and sight. I'm listening and looking for anybody who might be sneaking around or watching me or whatever.
Okay.
Much better. 23.
Okay. There doesn't appear to be any signs of movement, any sound, anything like that in your area.
Okay. Then I'll get down closer. I'll find a perch within, I guess, 20 feet away or so. So I'm not far from it, but not immediately like it can reach out and grab me if it wakes up sort of deal. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Are you going down at base level with it, or are you still being perched?
I want to find a nearer perch.
Okay.
Again, like 20 feet away or so, if I can.
Yeah. So go ahead and make another perception check then.
Okay. 26.
Okay. Studying this a little closer, getting another vantage point here. This is the corpse of a horror. From what you can tell, it was its body seems pretty intact, but you can see some heavy battle damage on it. And it does bear resemblance to the other ones that you had seen around within this amethyst labyrinth.
Okay.
They need to believe that it seems as though they all seem to have died making their way towards Uldred's domain.
Okay. When you say that it's splayed out, is it like they fell and died, like, oh, that's how they fell, or like they were positioned after they died? Like, are they all kind of in the same?
Nothing intentional. It looks like
Okay.
They're
Okay.
gangly in general, so it just looks
Sure.
like that.
Sure. Okay. That answers all my questions. I will return to the bubble, which I assume is up by now.
Yes.
And as I fly into the bubble, I'll dade shape. Or the dome, or whatever it's called.
Dome.
And
yeah.
anything interesting out there?
There's a good number of these horrors that have been haunting us. They are down here too, and they're trying to get to Uldred. Which I think just confirms something we were talking about, that Diavor wants these shards.
But I suggest we rest.
I agree.
Yeah, you guys are pretty knackered, honestly. You've been traveling for quite a while. And so as the dome has now been set, and it takes on this very beautiful amethyst-looking appearance, you take to your rest, and that's where we'll take our break. So we shall return
Should I
here.
wait to?
What's that?
Should we wait to check off a long rest?
Yeah.
On our character sheets.
Right, yeah. Until I say you have now completed a short or a long rest, kind of
Okay.
forego doing that.
Okay. Oh wait.
Right now you're in the process of it, so when we
Right.
come back, we'll resolve that.
Okay.
So we'll come back here at 55, 56.
Sure.
That sound good?
55.
55? 55. Okay.
I like even numbers. Well, like the fives. You know what
Whatever you say, dude. That doesn't make sense. Bye.
All right, we shall see you here soon.
Bye.
And hello and welcome back. We've returned from break and relieved ourselves and gotten snacks and food and water and all kinds of
Way
things.
to put our business out there, Brandon.
Yeah, we pee. So what?
Not me.
What are you gonna do about it?
What?
You can. Is there more to that thought, or
Who?
Good point.
You.
you said and then just stopped?
Yeah, that was my brain short-circuiting for a second.
All right.
Anyways, we return to the group itself taking a long rest in the process, as you all find yourselves to your individual slumber, replenishing your abilities and whatnot. Something very strange happens within this deep slumber. Every single one of you share a very similar dream. You dream of this beautiful, opulent party. This regal hall with a long stretching table, beautiful decor, tantalizing and delicious smells of all kinds. Humanoid guests around you, some human, 3 Kreen, mousefolk, kobolds, and Aasimar, all dressed in this very beautiful, almost Victorian era kind of dress. Very large dresses, tight corsets, hand fans, and feathered hats, all very presentory across this amethyst hall. And within this chamber there, at the far end of the room, sits a humanoid man of deep purple skin, sitting upon this very large and elegant throne made with purple velvet and gold trim. Atop this amethyst base with these jutting crystalline spires that form this fan behind them. This man is very charming and amiable, and you feel very at ease and very comfortable. You partake in the merriment, sharing food and drink with all those around you, and sharing wonderful conversations with this host. And it's very strange because while you've never met this man before, you have very deep and long conversations about your history, about your adventures. You feel like you can tell them anything. And you do. Over the course of the evening, you fill your bellies, and they thank you.
There's no save?
And you all wake up.
Oh. Oh boy. That was a very lucid dream that I just had. I dreamt I was at a very fancy party. I was wearing like this nice little excuse me. This nice little green bow tie. Like I was actually wearing clean clothes for once. And it was so beautiful. So fancy. So many delightful people there. Huh. You can almost taste the food. What was that? Some sort of chicken.
I was at that party, but my bow tie was more of an orange. Otherwise, yeah, the chicken was great.
It's like herb de Provence on there or something. I can't put my finger on it.
If I had to guess, I'd say we're all at the same party. Although I was wearing a Dane tie, I'm not sure her bow is.
You never heard of Bo?
No.
She was very popular down, at the Lake Timbers. There was this one knot that she could do that just made a tie look elegant. It just, I don't know.
I'm not sure that's a thing we should focus on. I shared a lot of information at this party, in this dream. Something I wouldn't do in a waking situation, but...
Go ahead, Carla.
Can I do an Arcana check on the room we're in?
On the what?
In the room we're in, can I do like can I check to see if there are any like magics or any like anything magical in the room?
Currently, you're within a dome of magic that Eric has created within this amethyst landscape.
Well, I want to step out of that and see.
Okay.
Let her roll for the bubble.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to see if there's any sort of like magic within the area that we're in.
Okay. Arcana isn't a detect magic. It's trying to understand magic and how it works.
Okay.
Magical knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see if the dream we all had together was some sort of, or can I try to understand that magically?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Okay. That's a 19.
19. Okay. So you hold your chin, crossing your arms in deep thought. Everyone else is talking amongst themselves about the opulent party that they attended, and you as well. And thinking back on it, this magic, its type seems to be like an enchantment. However, you've never experienced anything like this before. And given the rests that you've had down here, you can tell that it's either something is aware and is targeting you, or it is based entirely on proximity. But that is not something that is understood, having no prior knowledge to this effect. But this is what you think could be.
It seems we've either been enchanted, or the closer that we get to Uldred, the more connected we may be.
Did Persea have the dream?
Yes. Well, actually, no, she didn't, because she does not sleep.
She doesn't sleep. Actually, I can't dream. That is a thing that cannot happen to me. I cannot be made to dream by any magical means.
Then you would be immune to this, then.
Yep.
It's a very good point to make, yes.
I forgot about it until you mentioned that she can't sleep. Then I remembered that's also a thing.
Yes, so then Balefire, Rondon, Kwansing, and Eric would all have had this dream. Presea, who does not sleep, did not experience it, and Dane, who is essentially protected from the dream realm by Seraphina, cannot be targeted by such effects either.
All right.
I remember talking about all kinds of things honestly, it's a dream. The details tend to fade after you wake up, but
Should have wrote this down.
Can't give away some of my deepest, darkest secrets.
if you gave away my mom's spiced potatoes recipe, she'll have us both in a
Eric,
swamp.
I would never do that. I promise you. Why would you even suggest that?
In my dream, Rondon gave it away. Kill him, Eric!
I'd like to roll it for initiative, please.
Just Uldred cooking these really fancy potatoes for everybody now.
You know how funny that would be?
With this recipe, I will rule the world.
He's like,
No, I trusted you.
I
The
thought
recipe's
you
like the last shard.
Okay.
Do we get the benefits of a long rest, though? Can we mark off a long rest?
You certainly can.
All right. Don't know why I said all right like that, but here we are. Ready that decision.
Uldred may know we are here.
Almost certainly.
And beyond that, knows what we're capable of and why we're here and pretty much everything about us.
Is it time to meet him face to face? Surrender ourselves willingly.
Nah, I'd like to leave now.
Yeah, let's all go get at some crackberry juice.
This was fun, but
Yeah. That dream was too much. I just can't do it.
That really pleasant dream we had? Ooh,
Yeah.
No. Not fancy food and dancing.
yeah,
He's my
Guy's a
worst nightmare.
psychopath.
Dan doesn't dance.
He made me do unspeakable things, and you're just like doing a jig.
I'd call that unspeakable. No, we don't know the extent of what Uldred knows. If we're just in proximity or where exactly we are.
If Uldred was the one to cast that enchantment, he knows everything.
Then what's left but then go and meet him? Aye?
Right.
Yeah.
Before we leave, I want you guys to know we could be tortured, could be brought within an inch of our lives. But I'm confident in all of you.
I kind of reach back and start rubbing the scars on my shoulders.
Was that supposed to be a motivational speech?
Yeah.
We may be tortured.
Well,
No,
I thought he was
no.
going to stop right there.
That's a
Maybe
real
torture.
winner thing.
Yeah.
Right, let's go.
You take the
Nope.
inspiring leader feat?
Yeah.
I'm not
We
trying to
may
inspire.
die.
I just want you guys to know I'm confident in you.
As I reach back and kind of rub from the scar tissue from where I'd been filleted before, and like, if I can make it through, you all can. There are worse things.
Fuck that, Dane. I'm out.
I jokingly kind of put my hand on Dane's shoulder and kind of shake him a little. And I'm like, this is actually a lot like the adventures that you put yourself into.
As I'm like putting my breastplate on. Aye, that's. We've all got to go through it at some point.
And then I look around and I put my
I'm
hand
with Eric.
and I go, these hoes ain't loyal.
And we break out into dance.
And then we all leave. Okay.
All right. It's like the ending of a Shrek movie where everyone's like singing karaoke or whatever.
Yep.
I need a hero.
Ron John went on to create that recipe again.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh,
subtitles.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it, Carla. Oh, that one got me.
I kind of reach down and put a hand on Rondon's shoulder, and then reach out the other hand and kind of right here on Kwanseng, just like, if I could be with anyone, I'm glad to be with all of you.
I lean in for a kiss. No, I'm just.
Aww.
Were we gonna
Friends in a dome.
really gonna do this?
They might
Really?
kiss.
All right, Eric and I are gonna dimension door out of here.
But I'm like looking at everybody. These are just the two that are next to me that
Yeah.
I can reach. Like it's. Are you ready?
It's so funny. We're having this talk and we're gonna go outside and it's gonna take us like 3 more sessions to get there.
Yep. Yep.
That's so funny. Okay, I'm ready.
Let's go die now.
Let's do it. I'm gonna.
Are we
drop
just gonna
the
start?
hut.
Are we gonna start yelling? Just. Uldred, come and get us. Or
I can cast daylight.
are we just walking until they find us?
Yeah, let's
Aldrich,
head
you
to the
punk ass
citadel.
bitch.
Yeah.
Come get.
Let's go to the citadel.
All right.
Very well.
So
So,
we start walking towards the citadel.
If
So with
we're-
the
if
light,
we're-
using the light that shoots up from it as a guiding post, just walk
Sure.
towards it.
If what that guy said, they're gonna take us, but they're hold on. If they're gonna take us, but they're not gonna they're gonna like hurt us, right? Let's try not to use like all of our spells though. Like
Yeah, no,
we're not gonna if we don't have to fight back. Like
Yeah, we're turning ourselves in, and
yeah.
but like to get their attention, I'm just going to like kind of loudly say, I heard that Uldred wears his mom's underwear.
Right now, you're gonna do that?
Yep, why not?
All right.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna start talking to you guys really loudly.
so within the glade, you begin to yell that.
Ooh, I do want to fill a water skin. Like get a drink of water.
Okay.
I know you talked about how clear that water is. I want, if there's anything magical about it, I don't want to miss out. I'm gonna fill a skin with that water.
Actually, I'll walk with you to it, and I'll start like kind of wiping my arms off as I'm yelling this to you. So Dane, I hear Uldred wears his mom's underwear.
Who would have told you that? Is that something the monk said when
Nope.
you two were speaking?
Yeah, Dane, I'm not very good at making loud noises. It was either
Yeah.
that or yelling.
You're pretty quiet. Let's save the yelling for when we get closer.
Okay.
So
Brandon's like, I did not see you guys like this.
you go towards the edge of the glade, Dane, and you begin to drink from it. And while it is very cold and very refreshing, you can see that as you are drinking, out from the surface of the water, this like darkened, wispy humanoid form begins to slowly lift out, and suddenly another and another and another.
I take a step back. We may need to run. I've done something I shouldn't have done.
And you recognize the shapes.
Oh, never mind. They're on our side.
Through the connected waterways, these are the spirits that were protecting the placid pools.
Nice.
Party.
And you can see that they essentially what they do is, from your flask, one of them places their hand in it, and you can see that their spiritual essence somehow goes inside of it.
That's pool.
Will you come with us to the remaining spirits?
We will do what we can. For what you did. If you can take this water with you, we shall be at your side.
Are we supposed to drink it or just have it with us?
Drink it.
Thank you. Fill up your skins with this water.
Am I in trouble for rubbing you guys on me?
Quan Sing just gets pulled underneath and like disappears.
Suddenly Shadow Kwansing pops back up,
Oh shit!
glowing red eyes.
Sure.
He was.
So essentially, if you have a water skin on your person, you can fill it up with this water, and it will restore 25 hit points.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Do not have one.
I do, but how would I add that?
You can
Make a note?
customize the item. Yep. So you can go into like the notes of it, and then just put one use, 25 hit points. And you can't use your water skin for anything else until that's gone.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And suddenly they descend back into the depths.
I'll turn, and if everyone else is on board, we'll start walking.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
So, for this, are you being open with your approach?
At least
much.
until we get closer, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think stealth is what we're looking for right now, right?
I guess, do we want to stealth until we get closer and then like reveal ourselves at the citadel, or are we looking to get caught by one of these sentries?
I don't know how much it matters, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't know anything, I guess, really. We're just kind of...
I don't know how we're gonna be able to get past them if they're like blocking the path.
to the citadel.
And I'm not
Yeah.
sure if the sentries can be reasoned with, is the other thing. If they're not living, if they're just constructs, they may just attack. They may not
Right.
stop and ask questions.
I feel like that would be a path. Either way.
Is there... When I was looking earlier, did I see any other way around the sentries to the citadel?
Yes. This isn't a singular path area.
Oh.
This is a very large open cavern that you could approach from many different sides. There are sentries posted kind of sparsely. Is that
I think that's right.
sparsely around the area, but there's definitely no one way to get there. If you wanted to, you could essentially. It would be harder to spot them from the ground, but you could essentially sneak up on them, know where they are, and walk a different direction. If you wanted to tackle this from the ground, it would be a little harder to spot them. But if you were in the air, you could at least find where these points are and steer and get a direct route without ever having contact with them.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. I pictured like one path and like them like posted.
I would-
Posted.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
It
this
was-
is an enormous cavern.
Yeah. I was gonna say it was one path to this point, Carla. So I
Gotcha.
see where you would have that thought. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
do
yeah.
that.
Okay, so is Dane, are you taking to the sky then?
Let's see, did you want me to become an owl again? Did you want me to send one ahead of us?
Whatever.
Eric, I know that you flew once upon a time. Is that?
Yeah, I can. With Borby, I can fly without needing to use one of my spells.
That's right.
As well.
That'd be fairly conspicuous, though. I suppose.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Torchbug. Yeah, I can use the wild shape if that's the best option.
I think that's all we have left.
All right. Then I will actually wild shape into the purple amethyst looking owl again, because if it's me and not a familiar, it uses my perception and not the owl's, and mine's better.
Cool. All right. So
You're a perceptor, dog.
yeah. So you become
I a perceptor.
you become the owl, and you take to the sky. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
All right. I don't have disadvantage, right? Okay. So it's with advantage.
While he's doing that, should we be gearing up for a stealth check, Brandon? If we want to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
I rolled a 19, so 27.
Holy shit! All right.
Oh boy!
You just know.
I am perceptor.
You take to the sky and you survey the landscape. From this vantage point, you can see that there are sentries posted, and you take a mental note of where exactly they are. But you also catch some other details as well. You see these thicker amethyst spires, almost like towers, with these glowing purple gems on the tops of them. What you can also hear is what sounds like an eldritch screeching. Very familiar to what you know the thralls of Diavor to make. And closer to these towers that are kind of positioned to be secure and defensive around the citadel, you can see that the crystals above them suddenly begin to spark with electricity, and you can hear this like as this beam just suddenly carves its way through the ground, and you can see this like these fumes suddenly pop up from the ground, and the eldritch screaming stops.
Oh my god.
That's a turret?
Some kind of tower.
All right.
Apart from that, you can also see that a fair bit behind you, maybe 250 feet, are two cloaked beings. The shades are aware of your location, but they don't seem to be approaching at the moment.
Okay. I'll take the information if I'm allowed to have it, but my devil sight only goes out to 120. Are they otherwise illuminated?
Because of the high roll,
Okay.
it's nearly impossible,
Okay.
but your sight with the roll under the circumstances, that is what you get.
Okay. Catching some of the light off of the spire.
Yeah.
Cool. Like I said, I'll take it. I just wanted to make sure that was clear, so I didn't know something I shouldn't. Thank you. So I'll kind of circle back down within 80 feet, and I'm assuming Kwanseng is kind of leading the pack on the ground again. So I'll relay all that to you, Kwanseng.
I'll let everybody know. Dane says there's a tower with a very big laser on it.
I've probably noted a good path to avoid both sentries and towers.
Yes. The towers themselves are far enough away to where there is definitely a space between them that you could walk. But the range of the laser seemed pretty long.
Singular tower or multiple?
There are multiple. Okay. There are a lot of them surrounding the citadel.
Okay.
So, what was the group stealth check? If you haven't made that already, go ahead and do so now.
$24.
Okay.
I'm like, Guansing, look how quiet I'm being. 18.
All right.
Wow.
My heart grew 3 sizes.
Okay. Rondon?
I say it a little bit quieter than Eric. I'm like, Guansing, look how quiet I'm being. I rolled a dirty 20.
Nice.
And I stayed a little bit more quiet than Rondon. And be like, 21.
All right.
That's it.
Oh shit! Everyone's rolling really well. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a 21 also for Persea.
This was the perfect time to have this happen.
I know.
Sorry,
right.
am I also rolling? I didn't. I'm
Yes.
separate, but there. Okay. Yikes! I might blow it for everybody. I also do
Well,
want
you'll
to.
blow it in the sky. So
Right.
Russ.
I would have used another second level spell to cast Dark Vision on Guansing before I owl shaped.
That's.
So I marked that off.
You guys ready for chicken dinner?
chicken dinner.
Hey,
It's a 3.
that's a 221.
Ah.
Woo!
All
Dude.
I was gonna say, Dan just says to Guansing, just
It's just like a little swoop right by his face, just. Whoo.
Yeah.
It's that bird from the forest. I think it was like the Bloodbender episode in Avatar, where like it's like God. No, it was the swamp episode. That's the one.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Dane's more like the owl from the Tootsie Pop commercial.
Oh, okay.
Stealing
Yeah, you get
children's candy.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, dick. You progress forward. Stealthing your way without issue. Communicating with Dane, you steer clear of any sentries, any lights, and you are fairly silent and undetected as far as you know. As you begin to reach the citadel closer and closer and closer, the towers become more and more apparent to all of you as not just some, amethyst structure that kind of blends in with the surrounding purple around, an actual constructed edifice that is put there with purpose. And the closer and closer you get, you begin to see piles and piles of corpses, of eldritch abominations, now lifeless, without any real signs of markings on them, just dead from some psionic force.
Yikes.
And it is at this point that you begin to reach closer and closer to the citadel. You are probably maybe 150 feet away from the citadel. However, this landscape outside of the jutting amethyst structures before is a flat, featureless, open area. More than likely intended to prevent people who are approaching the citadel to approach unnoticed.
What's she doing?
Oh, can you hear her?
Yeah.
She's biting her her toy. Kima, no more. She looked at me like, what? But why? Here, maybe I'll turn this down. Okay.
Can I, would I be able to disguise myself to look like one of those Dragonborn?
With magic or?
With disguise self?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can pretend that, like, I captured you guys?
That would be a plan. I don't know how good that would work,
That's
but
true.
I mean-
I don't have to. It's okay.
No.
It's worth a shot.
yeah. So yeah, and you just might get beat extra for trying to look like somebody you're not. So I mean, I'd do it.
Okay. I'm gonna use it.
I will. If there's no more like scouting to be done, I'll land with the crew.
Okay.
I'll just need like extra support charisma wise because I have none. Persuasion wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we would need deception for that, I believe.
Yeah, I have +0. Or we could just come forward and do it.
It's up to you.
Yeah,
Vampire.
just forget I said it.
I have a disguise kit that I can use to make us look beat up, give us bruises and what look like wounds and stuff. So you capturing us looks little bit more legit.
Okay.
You're gonna have.
I mean, do you guys like that plan?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I didn't
Groucho
mean to
Marx
sound like I
classes
wasn't
in
on
there?
board with it earlier. I was just like,
Okay.
oh, that caught me off guard. Yeah, it's a plan. Let's do it.
You said Groucho Marx, Nick?
Yeah, it's like, do you got any Groucho Marx classes in there?
Yeah. Get the nose and mustache. Yeah.
Perfect. That's all I want.
So
I
we're
am
gonna
Flower
duck
that
back
squirts
in.
water.
Duck back in before it opens wide up
Okay.
and take a bit to apply some disguises. Right?
Okay. So,
Yeah, Rondon, just chop my arm off.
Already on it, Dane.
all right. So, Eric, you're proficient with a disguise kit, yes?
Yes.
Okay. For this, creating the disguises, let's see, what would be a suitable stat for this? It's proficiency plus.
My gut feels charisma, but I don't want to, because that's my best stat. That's not why I am saying that. It just feels like that's your performance-ish type thing.
Right.
Well,
But-
here's the thing. Your deception skill is charisma, and that's what you're trying to do here. So I'll allow it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Can I use my proficiency in medicine to help show him, like, hey, here's what the
Ooh.
wound would look like? Da 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 da.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
That sounds feasible. So go ahead and roll that with advantage then.
Alrighty. So with advantage, that's a dirty 20.
Okay, so with your disguise kit, you end up creating all sorts of lacerations and bruises upon the flesh of your party, as well as taking some of the nearby amethyst and just kind of using some of the glue that comes with it to kind of like put it and make it look like they're jammed into the skin. Some kind of like a battle heavy, like you've been in a fight with amethyst and you're looking pretty beat up. It'll be pretty hard for people to tell that that this is a disguise, but yeah, good job.
As he's kind of setting up, I'll say, this is really a brilliant plan, Bellfire. I want all of us to remember, though, when they get us, The less we talk, the better. We're in rough
Well-
shape.
Balefire, do you have any sort of magic that allows you to speak languages that you don't know? Tyler is asking if you have tongues, but Dane
No,
doesn't know wizard spells, so.
I have comprehend languages, but that's like understanding any spoken language.
Right.
I can't like talk.
Yeah,
Like I
I'm not
can't like
quite there
speak
yet.
the language.
Someday I'll do it.
Can you disguise self with like a
That's true because they don't speak the language. We don't
like
speak
a
the same
wound
language.
across your neck?
Yeah,
Like,
I can disguise myself however I let me look.
and that way,
Yeah.
you can just kind of gesture, and we can like, oh gosh.
Yeah, with a wound on my neck. Yeah,
It hit me perfectly on my
like by my
larynx.
vocals.
If they say anything, just point to your neck.
Yeah.
And make raspy noises.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So, what is happening? Describe your
So-
actions from this point.
I take out my spell book and I try to disguise myself to look like one of the Dragonborn mages that we fought, a little battered, with like a slash like on my neck, but a pretty evident slash,
Okay.
like right by my vocal cords.
All right. All right. So you take the appearance of the gemstone dragonborn, and to the naked eye you look like one, and it's uncanny.
Does anybody have any like chains or?
We have one set of those manacles.
Okay.
I do.
They're like gemstone. It was just the one set, right? We didn't find any more on those bodies.
That's correct.
So at least use one of those,
Yeah.
and then the rest of us. I mean, because if it's one person or one dragonborn, it's not like they're going to carry 12 sets of freaking manacles. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
the rest of us will just have to use rope. I do have rope, so
Okay.
I would say, for the sake of appearances, since Rondon is the most muscular,
sure.
if we put it on Rondon and not like clasp it, just like they're like resting around
Right.
to like give the appearance, but he can. I was also going to say, in tandem with the disguise self, can we use some of that glue to put some of the amethyst on Rondon's axe?
Yeah, that sounds feasible.
That way, it looks like it. Just to sell it more. Other than that, do we have rope?
I do.
Quansang does.
I have 10 feet of chain.
Ooh,
There
that's
we go.
better.
Yeah,
I have an ink pen.
Okay, that'll help.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have
want
50
that.
feet of rope, so
Um,
use whatever you want. The chain is totally fine. Let's do that.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Man, remember that time we decided to do this?
so we're putting fake manacles on Rondon, but not shackling them.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
then,
y'all gotta act hurt. Y'all gotta act real
Right.
hurt.
right,
I'm just gonna lay on the ground.
Okay.
just dragging Quansang behind us. He's got one arm in the chain and just scraping across the amethyst.
Ooh.
Are we
That
doing
sounds
like
rough.
the other four of us side by side?
Yeah.
Chain, 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 chain.
Right.
All right.
So, you all begin to walk out. Balefire taking the lead, with the rest of you bound in some way or another. Immediately, as you step out into the open, two neighboring towers suddenly turn their gemstones towards the center of where this middle path that you're crossing through. And suddenly this purple light suddenly illuminates all of you as you are walking.
I go.
Okay. Go ahead and make a deception check, Balefire.
Hey, can I have
With
the
advantage?
assistance of them looking hurt as fuck?
Yeah.
So with all the precautions we took,
Yeah,
was that
absolutely.
Okay. What is it?
Deception.
Okay, that's an 18. That's still pretty good.
Okay. Okay, so you cry out with this raspy voice, and the lights seem to follow you as you progress further and further in this open area. No other actions are taken as you eventually reach what is essentially the close to the base of the citadel. And what you can see is this sudden opening be created as these amethyst kind of pillars, these large crystalline structures, suddenly begin to descend into the ground, just like almost as if a mouth was opening from the bottom and just.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear the clattering of stone and the movement in the earth as you can see these essentially what could be compared to as like knights that you've seen in Onor. These are fully armored, fully enchanted, gemstone dragonborn with full plate armor and what looks like tower shields and great swords in hand. And they begin to approach you all, and they regard you, Balefire. And they begin to speak, and you're not sure what they're saying.
I will, as they're approaching, mind link with Quan-Sen quick. You might have to do the token.
Okay.
So, Balefire. A gemstone dragonborn knight begins to speak at you in a language you don't understand. It sounds very deep, very like, kind of like.
And I go, and I like kind of like push, like shove like Quan-Sen a little, as I'm like kind of trying to show them. I don't know.
Okay, go ahead and make a deception check. This will be a straight roll.
Okay.
You're not exactly sure what they're saying, and it's a little hard to convince, but the display is there.
Boy, a natural 16.
So it brings it to a total of
16.
Oh, okay.
Do I
told you, no
understand?
charisma. That's why I push you. Because
What was
I don't
that?
understand.
Do I understand what they're saying, Brandon?
You can speak primordial, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, they say something to the effect of, "What is this that you've brought with you?"
As she shoves us forward, I say, in primordial. And I like make like a cough noise, and I'm like, we're the adventurers your leader's looking for. We're turning ourselves in.
You can see that they look at you, squinting their eyes, And as you can see them smile, and this full set of amethyst teeth reveal themselves to you. As they are very large. As large as a medium creature can be, with these bulging muscles and this full plate armor that lets you know that this is a very strong individual. They reach down and grasp your neck, and you can feel the gauntleted hand of this creature suddenly lift you from the ground as your legs kick from beneath you.
I lift my chain next to him as we're bound together.
And they say,
"It doesn't look good for you, little rat."
and he throws you back as you skid on the ground. Yeah, you are thrown as well, Dane, kind of trying to keep with the closeness of the bindings. And Quan saying you hit the ground, and you can feel this. I mean, it's a rock that you're essentially falling on. The impact is horrible. I would say that you don't take damage, but it more so just hurts like a mother.
Yeah.
And so you can start to feel that your muscles are sore, and you can feel that there is this bruising that you can kind of feel in your neck from the grip, the tightened grip of this amethyst gemstone dragonborn. They turn to regard you, Balefire, and they say something that you can't understand, but Quan Sang does. And Quan Sang, what you hear is something to the effect of,
"Follow us. We will take them to the cells until Uldred is ready."
I'll say to my party, "Sounds like we're going with them, guys. Uldred wants to see us soon."
Step to it, I guess.
I'll kind of bound up, push myself off the ground.
I'll use the chains to help him up.
okay,
Spit some blood out of my mouth.
gotcha.
I push Quan Sang back down.
All right, and Balefire, you begin to follow them as all of you are led further and further into the Amethyst Citadel within Uldred's domain. The knight begins to yell towards all of you, and Quan Sang, you understand this as they begin to kind of poke and prod and bully almost, and say, just yell at you, just
"Keep up, worm."
and you can see them open their mouths, and the spray of psionic force, not unlike the gemstone leviathan that you had seen before, suddenly shoot out to the ground at your feet, causing you to jump, to step out of the way of its line of fire. And as you move away, the gemstone kind of begins to grow in that spot, and they just begin to laugh to themselves.
As this is happening, I kind of looking over at Persea. How is she responding?
She is obviously very worried. But she puts a lot of faith in you guys. And she's keeping quiet.
So I guess
hoping that this plan of yours will pay off.
So I guess
Me too, bro.
So I guess with blood, I just spit blood on her, so blood in my teeth. I smile at her, and in Elvish for the first time, I say to her, "Don't worry. If we had to, we'd kill them." And I just keep walking.
Okay.
I turn to Rondana and Gnomish. I say, "Hey, baby, how you doing?"
Which translates to, "Hello, Rhonda. It's very nice to see you." It's just like,
and then I say, "What a beautiful sunset we're having."
I responded with "Oh damn, you shit with that ass."
I hate
That's
nomads.
an awful question.
It translates.
There's
to,
no other answer. What do you do?
It translates to, do you need to do a bowel movement?
Yeah. Anyways, you continue further in, and you can see that the streets have all been cleared. This looks like what could be a a citadel. It's essentially like a city within a castle, and so where you would normally think there would be, hustle and bustle and movement of civilian activity, it has all been cleared. There is only military force or guards here, and you can see that on the rooftops and around corners. You can see that several different kinds of amethyst gemstone dragonborn are. You can see different kinds of mages and monks and rangers. Obviously the fighters, which are the knights, just all watching you. And it's very strange to you, Dane and Kwansing, having higher passive insight, that it doesn't seem like there's any other movement besides you all entering the citadel.
All
But you
eyes
can
are on
see,
us.
yes, you can see that this entire place is made out of gemstone, and it is much more lit inside the citadel than it was outside. The very prominent light at the nexus of the citadel creates a very steady light source. And you progress further and further and further. Eventually, about maybe 20 minutes of walking has passed, and you have descended deeper within the interior of this castle, through winding steps and corridors, several locked and secured entrances. You eventually reach what is essentially, it looks like a collection of very thick and large, nearly translucent amethyst formations. The room is suddenly, well, as you all are walking in there, you have an escort with you of several knights and several mages. And you step into the room. You can see that within these amethyst structures, almost like placed against almost like a hexagonal room at the edges, almost like cells made of gemstone. And this reminds you sort of that prismatic gemstone that you initially encountered leading into the crystalline cavern. You can see that there are creatures within the amethyst themselves, but somehow this functions as some kind of prison, where they don't seem to be petrified or anything, but they can only move within this enclosed amethyst space.
You're muted.
Sorry, Dalton came home a minute ago, so I muted to
You're good.
avoid all the noise. They are encased in the amethyst, or they're like in an amethyst enclosure?
In an amethyst enclosure.
Okay.
Though you're not sure of what the intricacies are of it.
Sure. Thank you.
Just looking around the room, do I see any of those panels that the gems go into that we used to open the
Perception
one
check.
that we encountered earlier? 7?
Not particularly, no.
Yep.
However, they do speak out, the escort that you have with you, and they regard you, Balefire, and they say,
Take the prisoners to that cell there.
Why this cell? I'm looking at it, I say, and then I realize that I'm speaking common, and I go, in Primordial, why this cell?
they don't answer you, but it gives Balefire enough context to step over to that crystal cell and immediately begin to round you all up. What soon follows is this. As Balefire is kind of gathering you all to put you into the cell, you can see that several more of them begin to get closer and closer to you all.
Oh, no.
This knight seems to place their hand on Balefire's shoulder and reach through the illusion to pull a bag from her hip.
A bag?
A bag. And suddenly you are all pushed through this amethyst cell.
What bag did they take?
They open the bag and reach inside.
Oh no.
And you can see these uncut, unrefined amethyst crystals. And they open their palm and have them all fall to the ground.
I don't understand.
And they say, and you are the only one who understands this, Quan Sing,
You thought you could hide from Uldred's sight carrying a piece of him.
And I, with Primordial, I say, we had no reason to hide. We just needed a couple escorts. Thank you.
Damn! Did that hurt? You need some ice for that burn!
And I just nod.
That was a good one, Quad-Say.
We'll see how confident you are when Uldred is through with you. For now, enjoy the view and get comfortable.
And then in Primordial, I say, if you want me to enjoy the view, perhaps you should step aside.
they open their mouth and a spray of psionic energy spreads across the amethyst prison as they scream out. They smash their shield, their tower shield, on the ground, and they begin to yell out to others to keep their posts. As they look at you, Kwanzaa, you can see that their eyes suddenly glow this bright purple, and they stare at you for probably a good 3 seconds before their gaze is suddenly broken by what appears to be some kind of change in their demeanor, almost as if they were focused on you and then suddenly their gaze went, like they lost focus, and then they began to move in a different direction.
And I turn to our group and I say, pawns. They did exactly what we needed them to.
I think you upset them.
Oh.
Thank you for the guidance, Quan Sang.
We just had a little talk. And I look to Balefire and I say, they probably knew the whole time. But it worked out. So, we're here.
It did. We're here and mostly untouched. All of us.
All things considered, it went according to plan.
I look at Hussein and I go, every plan we have doesn't really go according to plan, but thanks for trusting us.
What's coming when we get inside?
So far, we're not dead, so, we're doing pretty well. This is great.
Yeah, the damage they could have done could have been much worse.
I consider this a win.
As we're speaking, can I just kind of make a glance out and see if anyone seems to be reacting to our speech, if they're listening or understand us?
Yes, and actually before you have a moment to actually do that, there is a voice that kind of calls out from the cell next to you. And says,
Go ahead, go.
"So, was this part of your plan? Your great plan to get captured here?"
Vale, is that you?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Is it a voice we recognize?
No.
Well,
I'd heard that you were foolish, but I didn't think you were this foolish.
Well, we're chock full of surprises. Wait for it.
Who are you hearing about us from?
I think you'll find that we've known each other for quite a bit, though we've never had a formal introduction. And you can see standing up, kind of approaching from the darkness, is a white-haired woman with green eyes. Appears to be ragged and unwell. She wears a cloth blouse tightly bound by a leather corset. She wears leather gloves and finely made boots, with a tricorn hat, all with a similar dark color, and appears in her mid-20s.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
You were the one hunting Pip.
Indeed I was.
Oh!
Simple.
And I was glad to hear of her demise.
Well,
Y'all ain't gonna get along.
let's watch our tongue. We might be fools, but there's still more of us than you.
And we might have to do something foolish if you keep on talking like that.
I like this one. What's your name?
I'm honestly surprised you never heard of me. Rondon Timbers, nice to meet you.
It reaches through the cell. He's like, here's my arm.
Reach it.
Oh shit, y'all. This is. Oh.
I appreciate your fearlessness, but I think you'll soon find that while your plan may have worked to get here, what follows soon after can only really be described as pleading. If there is no usefulness found in you, then you'll be tossed to the waysides.
Do you have
Isn't
your
that
audience
right?
yet?
What was that?
Sorry, you were still talking.
She says, "Isn't that right, Callagast?" You can see that to the cell to your left, approaching from the darkness, is what appears to be a blind and crippled beholder, with most of its eye stalks, actually all of its eye stalks, torn off. The center eye is gray and clouded, and it floats with a some sort of gray cloth draped over itself. and it speaks out. It says,
What is it now? Is this the catch of the week, Sybil?
and she says, I mean, it appears that way, but we'll see how they fare. I've heard many things about them, and to topple Faustus, and it's a feat on its own, but we shall see. In the meantime, if you have any great ideas about how to get out of these cells, we could work together, work something out.
How did you find yourself here?
I believe it all begins with a similar story.
Projekt.
She winks at you.
Tell me, have you already had your audience?
Yes, and I have proven my usefulness as a capable sharpshooter. Apparently I am to be taken out to be used in certain situations, but I'm too valuable an asset to kill or be let go.
Well, that gives us some hope, eh? If she's too valuable, we're more valuable by far.
She raises one of her eyebrows and kind of like smiles to herself.
And Caligast, what use are they using him for?
Well, he may not look it, especially because he is a blind and crippled old meatball. He is very versed in magical knowledge. His knowledge of the arcane is beyond that of any scholar. I believe the last time we spoke... What did you say? How old were you? Almost 1,000 years old?
1,329. And counting.
How long have you been in these dungeons?
Longer than I care to remember.
And that's not all who's here. And she points across the way to a cell pretty much secluded. It looks like a heavier security. A little more fortified. And you can see what looks like a three-creen standing kind of facing away from the center of the room, so away from you guys. A little taller individual with full plate, what seems to be like a red shining carapace, and a pointed red helm. And she says, apparently that used to be a hero of legend. What do they call him, Caligast?
He was referred to as the Dung Defender. How the mighty have fallen.
Well, the mighty may have fallen. Still more valuable than both of you. We're stuck between a blind person, who knows a lot about magic, and a woman who talks too much. Perhaps our stay here will be adventurous.
Perhaps. But we won't know for sure what is in store for you until you have your meeting. Until then, unfortunately, you'll have to get used to this talkative woman.
Let's start one place. Why Pip?
She killed many people, including
haven't.
someone I hold dear. There is a difference between mindless killing and killing for purpose.
A life is a life, I think.
Tell that to the little girl who never made it home. Rended to pieces. You try telling her older sister not to find hatred in a beast who had no remorse.
Pip was young. Still
Also-
learning.
Do I believe her? Is that a true story?
Make an insight check.
17.
There appears to be a lot of anger and pure hatred in her eyes. It seems genuine.
She believes she's telling the truth, but that's the sort of thing that can warp someone's perspective of a thing. Is my, I would say, my judgment of the thing. I don't know. You don't know the guilt or remorse she walked with.
True. But I bet she never bothered to learn the names of any of her victims either. Where's their justice? Six feet in the ground.
Are we done listening to her yet?
Honestly, I wasn't even paying attention to this whole thing. I kind of just blacked out. Quan Sang was saying some cool shit, and I was hyped up on that.
Thanks, Rondon.
Honestly, I can't even remember what your name was again. I'm sorry.
I never gave it.
Well, that explains so much.
Hi, I'm Rondon Timbers. He does it again.
Hi, I'm Rondon Timbers. Who the hell are you?
But enough about that. I have no quarrel with you all. I'm sure that you're down here just to do a job. Just as I have been for many years. The difference is, I hold contempt for something that, for some reason, you all still hold on to and defend.
Which is?
a lichen with a thirst for humanoid blood.
To us, she was a friend who defended our lives. Perhaps,
Go on.
perhaps the Pip you once knew wasn't the Pip we did.
The day we met Pip. When the moon rose, she pulled chains from her pack and bound herself to a tree. I say again, you know nothing of the guilt or remorse she lived with.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. But can you truly blame me for my hatred?
Absolutely.
Well, it wouldn't matter if we did, right? She's gone.
True. Circumstances are different now. Priorities must be in order. The question is, what are yours?
Are you just trying to steal our plan or something?
No. She like puts away a notebook.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, first we need to meet with this Amethyst Dragon. That's it.
Tyler.
Yes, but then what? What leverage do you hope to have over him?
We don't wish to hold leverage. We just want to talk.
I suppose, but if your end goal is to take the Baron, as you have more than likely been contracted to do so, I think you'll find his demeanor to change quite quickly.
Well, he's probably going to be upset then.
Perhaps. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. She sounded like she was going to say something.
I would be very careful. If there's any piece of advice that I can give you for him, it is that he will attempt to make you feel very comfortable. Flatter you. In the same vein, dragons have very high egos. If you wish to talk, I'm not sure what your exact goal is here, but you might gain more favor by playing to his narcissism.
What's in it for you? Why the advice?
Well, you might think me some cold, soulless woman who aimed to... You I haven't heard of, but the rest of you might think me some cold, soulless woman who derives pleasure from knowing that one of your compatriots is dead, but I have people I care for as well. And I also value the lives of the citizens of Primaris. What I do for the people, for their protection. I'm not sure what your plans are, but if you manage to retrieve the Baron in some way, then I know that Onor is safe once again, and while that might be hard for you to believe, at the very least I can rest knowing that that has been crossed off the list.
Is that why you're here? Take assignments so you can be close to the Baron?
My reason for being here is twofold. One, I am a mercenary, a monster hunter. I make my coin by ridding nuisances or evils surrounding villages and towns and cities. And the other is I don't wish to see this continent fall to the hands of someone like Projekt.
I look to everybody and I go, so it is his plan.
What do you know of Projekt? Are they in it for some gain, or are they being strong-armed into cooperating with Uldred?
Uldred is not the mastermind here. Projekt is. Projekt plays her part to make Uldred think that he is somehow intimidating her, but what Projekt needs is the seat of power. Even now, she schemes to get rid of the two that remain. Let me ask you something. Are you aware that Onor itself holds many shards of the prime deities?
I am now.
And the use of these shards, who dictates how they're used? The Council. So if one by one the Council fell, and there was one sole user of the shards themselves, in control of the largest gemstone mining city in the world, they could revolt against the monarchy. Projekt has been dubious at best about her interests, but I don't believe she holds the Pantheon as close to her chest as the corrupted.
Ooh, I don't like her.
And you've told Uldred this.
Not willingly. But he plays his part. He knows some things. But he's very... how would I put it? All he cares about is ensuring the survival of his people. Everything else comes second. including how Kretschik has been manipulating him, you could say. He does not care about that. To her, to him, she is nothing but a nuisance. Or rather, at the moment, she is a way to ensure that people don't reach Uldred to take the Baron back. Because without the Baron, the Amethyst cult is more susceptible to attack. They help each other out in that way. Kretschik gets what she wants. She can be as sneaky and as devious as she wants. Get the power she seeks. And Uldred can keep control of the shards and the Baron to propagate the spread of Amethyst.
Does she believe this, or is she just filling us full of crap?
Make an insight check.
Okay. When I cast guidance, that's like a noticeable thing that I do, right?
Yes.
Okay. I won't do it then. Ooh, 24.
Okay.
Who needs guidance?
She is very convincing. She is a little hard to read, but she seems very genuine with her words.
Kind of immersed in all this. Quansing's not. I don't even have any reason to doubt this woman. Like, I hate her.
Mike, do you have detect magic?
Yes, I do.
So as she's saying all this, and I go, if he wants to ensure that his people survive, why would he try and spread Amethyst? Why go further? Why not just be content with what he has?
Because the more Amethyst he has, the more powerful he is. He can connect to any piece of Amethyst. And as such, it has influence. From what I witnessed here, it looks like you were carrying a bag of Amethyst. And judging by the breastplate that you wear and the staves that you two wield, there was never any chance of you being under the radar.
What's radar?
It's a
In my very first D&D game, I made a speech where I was talking about we need to fly under the radar, and someone goes, "What's radar?" And now I think about that anytime I want to use that phrase. Sorry. Speaking of that, I definitely, after Balefire got caught, I just kind of like emptied the little bit of amethyst dust that I had in my pouch. Like, let's get this out of here.
Well, it doesn't. Apparently, that doesn't matter because the runes are what you're speaking of, correct?
The runes?
Well, you just said the staffs and the breastplate. Is that not what you're talking about? The runes?
Well, we actually have like items made of amethyst.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that you picked up from the fight with the gemstone
Oh,
Leviathan.
that's right. Not I. I'm not doing that. You guys.
Okay.
Yeah, as she's saying this, I'm just like dumping all my amethyst stuff, like, throwing the staff behind me. Just ting, 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 ting.
Also, I don't notice any necklaces on you. I wonder how Kretschik... Did she give you anything?
Oh no, she didn't give us anything at all. We found some necklaces. We didn't really do anything with them. No, do you remember, Dane, if we did anything with necklaces?
Did not.
We tossed them on the ground in that cave. Did she give us anything?
I don't think so.
I can't think of anything. I'm pretty sure
don't
she
think
was
she
like, "No,
did."
don't go."
Any papers, any seals, anything?
No, she adamantly
She
kind of
gave
hated
us-
us.
She gave us a seal to get Into the abyss.
Into the abyss.
Do we still have it?
She gave us the Royal Writ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we have that? Because
Absolutely, you should.
I don't have it.
I didn't
don't have
write
it
it
either.
down, but someone
Hey,
had it. at
No,
some point.
listen, Brandon. I'm just telling you. The rules are if we don't write it down, then it's
We
not.
don't
on.
have it.
Yeah.
That
True.
is the
Yeah,
rule.
if only there was a way to kind of go back and listen and, make sure that someone said, okay, I have it.
We
All right,
also
I'm keeping that rule for later. Then when we forget to write things down.
we also super bypassed that thing that we would need because we went down in war times.
That's true.
No one was checking us for papers.
Right. But would there
But-
be any reason not to take it?
That's true.
All right, I'll say I have it, and I
Yeah.
pull it out, and I go, "Listen here, you heifer, we're coming for you." And then I rip it up into shreds, and I chew on it, and I spit it out.
You can see the look of horror on Sybil's face.
That takes care of that problem.
Gosh dang it!
Wait, that was that spell scroll for power word pain. You've got the wrong
Yeah.
paper.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
And I pull out the other one, and I say the exact same thing. Oh, gosh dang it! How do we fall for these stupid little tricks all the time? Ugh.
She's clever. She's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, well, I would have punched her in her forehead. Like,
Dumb
Specifically.
spider forehead.
if she has one, she's getting punched. Okay, but I do have something. So you said that you've been contracted to put people in prison. What exactly is your role? You've killed. What else?
Are you talking about my work?
Yes, your work.
As a rule, I only kill monsters or humanoids if they have aggressed to a peaceful place and they have coin to provide, such as bandits or raiders or...
And so you imprison people as well.
Correct. Though some circumstances are more complicated and I don't always have the luxury.
And just kind of in my gut, and I don't know. Have you ever heard of Leonin and Sasha Quartermain?
No, I can't say I have.
Darn it.
Insight check.
Go for it.
Is she?
11.
Oh, that
It's hard to
does it.
tell.
All right.
Can I insight check her?
Sure.
So
Dane super doesn't trust this lady.
24.
24.
18 plus 6.
You don't notice any kind of facial, like,
She has
tics
no
or anything? Nothing that creates any kind of physical response or anything like that?
Okay. Well, it's worth an ask. They didn't take anything off of us.
Nope.
I didn't think so.
That's me.
Yeah, your bag, but that was because of the amethyst, yeah.
Right.
So seeing her is there openings at all?
None. It looks like an enclosed piece of amethyst that is a good 15 feet in every dimension. It appears as though you are in the inside of an amethyst, kind of placing your hands like on the walls of the amethyst themselves. It appears to be a solid, tangible surface.
Okay. Well, then I say to her, I'd offer you a cup of tea, but... And I bust out my tea set. That's obviously not possible. And I will make some tea for everybody. Tortoise flower tea.
Oh, okay, nice.
Did Eric? Well, she seemed nice at first.
I mean, Pip was my friend, but she seems pretty cool, right? I mean, she was hunting Pip for maybe the wrong reason, but from her point of view, is what she was doing different than what we do?
Right. I like her hair.
She does have a good sense of fashion. That hat.
Right?
Yeah. Eventually, this is rude. I mean,
Is the Dung Defender moving at all? Appear to be awake?
it's difficult to tell at this distance.
Yeah.
Tongue Defender, wake up!
I have some
Gosh,
questions
no.
I want to ask the beholder.
Okay.
Not tonight.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So do you actually yell "Dung Defender"?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Are you awake?
I think you'll find that that's not going to work. He's been unresponsive for a long time.
I yell, Dung Defender. Defender. Gosh darn it! Words are stupid hard.
I just imagine like Quan saying it. Defender, just like losing his shit in the cell, succumbing to the madness.
I say, Dung Defender, and I pull from my pack. I go, I need you to wake. We need to find a new we need to find somebody to hold this mantle. The mantle of the Blood Striker.
There is no movement.
And I yelled, the mantle that Veritas wore, Dung Defender, wake up!
Kunseng, do you mind if I try?
Well, if you can get him to wake up, yeah, try anything.
Is he within 80 feet of me? Is the chamber?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try with the Kalashtar Mind Link.
Okay.
Dung Defender. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
No response.
Earlier, you mentioned that like the connection wasn't made with those sentries. Do I feel like the message was received?
Yes.
Okay.
So then magic is able to pass through these amethyst cells.
Hey, can you give us any indication whether you choose not to respond or if you're unable to?
There's a moment where you can see them beginning to move, kind of turning their red kind of horned helm, like a beetle helm, like turning towards you, and you can see these glowing white eyes look back at you. They look to the ground and then they go back to face the wall.
Seeing that, as he turned, I'm like, yeah, yes, because I don't know that Dane's talking to him in the mind, or what he's saying, and so I'm shaking the mantle at him. And then when he turns back, I'm like, what? Dane, what did you say?
He can hear us. He's just defeated. He doesn't have the will to respond.
Defeated. Dung Defender, your friend died!
I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that Veritas and Lancaster seemed to both potentially perish in a final clash.
Kind of getting frustrated, I start pounding on the amethyst wall, and I'm like, "Why won't you listen?"
You can see them suddenly kneel on the ground.
Yes, get up. He rolls over.
He was standing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was laying down. Okay. He kneels. Gotcha.
Yeah. He kneels to the ground.
One knee or two?
2 knees. And you can see him place his arms on the wall of the cell, still faced away from you guys, but just like
Grieving.
mm-hmm.
I yell over to him. Veritas chose Pip, and Pip died. I'm holding the mantle, and I'm like, someone needs to hold this mantle because I'm tired of having memories about it.
I'm sad to say that is not for me.
He talked?
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
You can see them turn to face you. And these white glowing eyes suddenly widen, as if a realization has hit them. And they say,
If that is indeed the mantle you hold in your hands, if it still holds darkness and shadow, then Veritas is alive.
and that's what we'll pick up next time.
What?
Damn.
Gosh damn it.
Holy shit. Oh shit.
I'm like those kids who get really mad. Like, gosh dang it.
Tight as hell.
We just met the Dung Defender, boys. And girl.
He defended the dunk.
It's
Oh.
the
Have
Dung-
you seen that SNL skit that's like the dongs?
Oh.
The fuck?
That's
That-
just what the
that's
name
a
reminds me of, Dong
really
Defender. But like, have you seen
Broad
that
range
SNL
of
skit?
things.
Nope.
Yes, haven't seen it.
Nope.
No.
Oh, it's so funny. That's just what his name reminds me of.
That was good.
Mm.
That was really good. Sorry we didn't get 2 nights.
It's good.
Imagine what would have happened on night 2.
Bro.
We gotta wait 2 weeks.
We do.
Yep.
Nobody better be getting sick.
Tell that
Swear
to
to
the
God, if any of
baby.
y'all get sick, 2 weeks from now we're gonna fight.
Here, let me put my headphones on my tummy.
Hello, child.
Okay, true.
Don't do anything to make your mom sick.
Yeah, that's what the baby wants to hear is crying.
Oh my god.
Oh Lord, thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was great.
All right, so yeah, thank you all for joining us. Those of you who are still here, those of you who stopped by, and those of you who watch our stuff after the fact. We appreciate and love all of you because we like doing this and it feels good to see that. We shall see you in 2 weeks' time to hopefully experience the epic conclusion to the arc and to find out, I mean, what's going to happen. We got to let fate decide. And in the meantime, Mac, do the thing.
Hey, if you want to check out our stuff, you know, you could always check us out at RNG Presents on Facebook. If you missed this and you're not watching the bots, check out our podcast, which is RNG Presents. As well, hey, check out our socials. RNG Presents on Twitter, TikTok, and hey, if you want to see individuals of us, check out Tyler Presents. He does hilarious stuff sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
And also Mac Presents. I just do stuff very rarely, but hey, you know, worth the find. Anyways, we love you guys.
Easiest way to check out everything is to go to our flow page, which is flow.page/RNG Presents.
That's the one.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you all for joining. See you in 2 weeks' time, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Good night, guys.